this contest set for one fall is for the WWE Championship.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Welcome to Around the Turnbuckle. I'm Big Al. That is Professor Keith over there. We are back for 2025, guys. It's been a minute, but man, I hope you all had great holiday season. I hope you're all being safe out there in the Northeast if you're in the snowy weather.
Yeah,
Congratulations
home. Stay there.
To the Philadelphia Eagles who made it to the NFC Championship game. And good luck to the Ravens and our friends there. There are Ravens. We have a lot of friends in the SWO, Professor, who are Ravens fans right there with you. I won't mention the fact that our guest
to talk about that.
I will not mention the fact that our guest is a Steelers fan. However, I will say, Sammy, Slammin Sammy is here. How you doing, Sammy?
Good. How are you guys doing?
We are doing excellent. David Motorman is here. It's Sunday. Big Al and the Professor return. And look who they have tonight. Sammy, the rising star of the PA Indies. I'm excited to learn about this talented lady, and let's go slammin'. Let's go. Chris Vant, always good to see you, my friend. Sammy, how did this journey start for you? Tell us your story. Where did you come from? Why professional wrestling?
So for me, this all started back when I was like 3 years old, and my dad would like play wrestle with me on the couch, and he was a fan too. Right before I was born, went to go see Mankind and Undertaker at Hell in the Cell in Pittsburgh.
Wow! I was there
you were there.
No, I wasn't. He was.
Okay.
That was before I was born. So
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
he was there.
Yeah, but yeah, he's always been a fan. Turned it on, and I was like 3 years old, and like we would play wrestle around the couch, on the couch. I mean, and all that sort of thing, and then growing up at like 6 or 7, I started like to really like love it and really like want to do it. So for me, this has been a passion like ever since I was 6 or 7 years old, and I've been loving it from there,
Yeah. So do you remember like what match or what performer at that 6 or 7 years old sort of phase got you to say like, this is something I want to do, this is something I think I can do? Do you remember back that far?
I remember like the Shield was the first thing I saw that caught my eye.
Fuck our world.
that very much got me like inspired to want to be a wrestler, and then after they split, I looked up a lot to Seth Rollins a lot when I was young too. Still a fan of him to this day too. So
that's a good one. Was there certain female performers that caught your eye?
I do believe like there are some, but I don't know. I don't know. I guess my younger brain must have blocked them out and focused on all the guys. I guess.
You didn't have. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, you didn't have a lot of options then. We were really pre 4 Horsewomen, which I will say up and down, which I'm sure there's folks that are going to say, well, you're not allowed to say that, you're a man, but I think pre 4 Horsewomen, anybody who's saying that they can plant a flag to say we were the women's revolution, are just lying.
Right.
their own benefit.
To themselves.
Yeah, when you get the horsewomen up, you get Paige up there, you get Charlotte and
Yeah.
Becky and
Becky.
Sasha and all of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's really when it kicks off of going like,
I'll throw Bailey in there
these
too.
Bailey, absolutely. You know, these are women that know how to do this and can do this on the same level.
That's
funny, Kyle. A lot of people hate your face still. It happens.
So I hate the Professor Keith's face says the well, I don't know what we want to call him, Professor. You can call him what you want, but
I'm not sure I can call him what I want to call him in polite company.
I guess but that's
he is the high impact champion.
He is the high impact champion. Some people call him the MILF magnet. I don't know what that means, but
I think you know what that means. Al.
All
You're
right.
telling me you haven't known a MILF or two in your time?
Well, we're not going there. All right, so yeah, so okay, so eventually, there's my son. Hi, Zachary. So eventually,
of course, it's funny. I said it. Uncle Keith is a funny guy.
All right, so eventually, you got old enough where you could seek training. Where did that happen for you? Who trained you?
So I trained out of a place called the Stronghold Training Center in Dunbar, PA. I was trained by Brandon Kay. Very no name, especially around that area, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And especially since only few people are from that area that is Dunbar. So yeah.
Chris Vant is asking, where did you come up with your name? Where does Slammin Sammy come from?
So the name, ironically, the name wasn't really it wasn't really my idea at first because I did before I started wrestling, I did 7 years of karate, and I did 2.5 years in jiu-jitsu. And
really,
while I was in karate at that time, my sensei was always saying the name Slammin Sammy, and I also got that name over time because of how I fought. So it was my former sensei at the time. It was him that came up with the name Slammin Sammy, and I just heard that name, and I thought that's a great idea. It would be a great name, and now look where we are, you know.
So do you use the martial arts aspect of your life in your moveset and in your character?
I don't. I really don't. I mean, there may be little traces of here and there. I still definitely have the same aggressiveness and defiance that I have, and not being an easy hitter, of course. So yeah.
I feel like the jiu-jitsu background especially could be useful in wrestling, because jiu-jitsu is about throws and grapples and things like that. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's my understanding of what jiu-jitsu is. Karate is more striking and self-defense and things like that. But jiu-jitsu is more about grab someone, get them into a hold, get them down, overpower them, control. And I feel like that really could lend itself to wrestling. So you're saying there's traces, but you're not necessarily leaning into it. I think you should lean into that more. Especially, I love where you're saying about, I didn't necessarily come up with the name, but it wasn't like some ring announcer or some promoter or some whoever guy at a show came to me and said, "What's your name?" And you went, "Oh, I don't know." And they just came up with something off the top of your head. Like, you have somebody that knows combat, martial arts, real combat, gave you a name. You should lean into that, I think.
Right.
Because that lends a shoot aspect to the work.
Yeah.
Just throwing something out there for you. You want to use it, great. You don't. It's whatever. I just try to throw ideas out.
Professor's campaigning to be your manager, Sammy. Do you hear this?
Hey, I'm not. I'm just saying, if we look,
I agree with you.
Al talks about, if you can get some more bookings from this, great. Obviously, that's the dream. But I mean, if you come off of here tonight and go, I have one thing I heard during the interview that I think will help me, that's great for me. I just want to help people because I always say I fell ass backwards in this business. I'm the luckiest man in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Part of this business just because Al and I were fucking around on this show.
So, Sammy, you had some training out there in Dunbar and whatnot. And so then talk about that first match in front of people, had that feel for you. Like, tell that story.
The first match to me, it felt like a dream come true for me. It felt like I was finally being able to live a dream. And not only that, but I have worked so incredibly so hard for it. And also especially for years because people would doubt me and try to say, no, you'll never do it. Well, I just did.
So yeah, I mean, you seem to want this, right? I mean, this is something that I'm sure you have obviously backup plans. Every wrestler does, but just in case you don't make it. But it seems like the hunger is there. The more I talk to you.
Oh yes, always will be.
So I mean, who was that first opponent? Do you remember?
So my first opponent was Laura Lovelace. She was a nice opponent to get in there with,
Was she a veteran? Was she a veteran?
Yes, she was a veteran, so
somebody could just say, do what I say, let me call the match. You follow the steps and we'll have a good one out there.
Yeah, some great help.
So after that match, you go back into the back, and how do you feel about it? Was it like, were you a little, you felt like you were a little too nervous, or maybe you weren't nervous, or maybe it went well? Like, how did it go?
I felt very good about the match. I felt it went great, and a bunch of people, of course, were in the back telling me how good I did and all that stuff. So it was a pretty great feeling to like set the record straight that I am now a pro wrestler.
Yeah.
And you are. And so, how long ago was that? How long ago was that first match?
So it was in April of 2024.
So okay, so almost a year ago.
Yeah, a year ago.
So yeah, you're almost a year in.
I gotta say, I've seen your stuff. I've obviously seen your stuff live. I called your match with Autumn Breeze, and I've seen some things before and since, and I'm really impressed with where you are, considering how new you are in the business. Because let's face it, what we do is an art form, and It is about repetition. It is about getting in there, and the more you do, the better you're going to do. And, it's obviously about who your opponents are, getting in with those veterans that are willing to say, all right, follow my lead. And if you can follow the steps and do what needs to be done, you're going to get better. You're going to get more attention. You're going to get more bookings and things like that. And yeah, I've been impressed. I think you're on the right track, as green as you are.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Chris Vant is asking, and we addressed this earlier, Professor, but I'm going to let Sammy answer this. How does the martial arts background help you in the ring? Do you feel like it's an advantage against opponents who don't have that?
I feel like the martial arts background has helped me find confidence as of in the person of who I want to be, because like the first time when starting out, before martial arts, I didn't know what character I wanted to be, but seeing the progress over time as I grew out from martial arts to now, and there was that certain point like in the middle where I figured out who I wanted to be. So it definitely helped me with my confidence. Helped me be tougher than ever, and just the belief that I can accomplish everything, and it is, and I feel like it does have a special place to help inside of the ring. So
I agree, because I think we're past this point. I hope we're past this point that if somebody gets an idea in their head about testing you, you now have that ability to go, okay, if you want to play that game, then I can cinch up on a hold or I can do what I need to do. And if this turns into something a little more shooty, I can shoot.
Right, of course.
Is Slammin Sammy a good girl or a bad girl in your mind?
To me, Slammin Sammy to me is like the one that's always. I would say that she's more of a baby face because here's this girl who's been doubted her whole life, being told you can't do it, and people just deciding to hold her back for whatever reason, or treating her like the outcast, or
The underdog.
underdog. Treating her like she's just this stepstone, but she's always gonna keep coming back, basically like a female Rocky.
I like that. Timothy Titan says, "Who is your dream opponent? Do you have one of those yet?"
I would say if there's anybody to be a dream opponent, I definitely think like for like WWE wise and stuff, I think Paige would definitely be a good one to.
Okay.
Yeah, I could see where you guys could link up style wise.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
How do you feel after your and Autumn Breeze's match? How did you feel after that one?
I felt like the match went really well. Mm-hmm. I mean, I felt like we did a lot of good things in there, and I've learned a lot of new things. Like, I feel like from every match, that's what I do. I learn a lot of things from like each experience,
Good.
Autumn's one of my favorite people in the world, and she's somebody that if you're willing to listen and work with her, she's a veteran that's very giving and very much wants to have good opponents and people that she can come back to and call up and go, hey, I need to have a match. Conversely with that, I'm going to piggyback on what Al was saying about where do you see Slammin Sammy, and you said Slammin Sammy's a babyface.
Mm-hmm.
Have you thought about if you need a heel version of Slammin Sammy? Do you feel like you've sort of started to think about where that might come from?
Yeah, I have thought about like a heel version of Slammin Sammy. That's like, it's like like I said earlier about people stepping all over her. There'll be a time, it's like you'll get so sick and tired of that you're gonna be like, that's it. I'm throwing your foot all the way to the other side. Yes, I'm done.
Great.
There it is.
It's gonna be the baby. It's gonna be what motivates the baby face, but it's gonna turn slightly and it's gonna become dark. That's good. Yes. I like that. Yeah. I think you're on the right track there. Absolutely.
Kai Thomas says she's a stepping stone to me. I don't care what gender she is.
This guy.
You don't care.
I can't with this guy. I can't.
Would you? I mean, have you wrestled men before, Sammy?
No, I have not wrestled Kyle before.
Well, not him, but I meant, have you wrestled any men?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I have wrestled like tons of men. Like recently, done like a battle royal here with a bunch of men, and I've been fighting men my whole life too. Like in martial arts, I've fought men in that division. Also done like what I was talking about with jiu-jitsu earlier. That class was basically just adult dudes and me, and that was it. So
I don't think you want any piece of this lady, Kyle. I really don't. Keep running your mouth.
I feel like he thinks he does, and to be honest, I'm gonna check the rule book obviously before we get there, but I don't know that there's anything in the Revolution Rumble rulebook that says that it's anything gender specific, because my reading, I will check with 3WA management and the championship committee. We know I always do. Mm-hmm. But everything that I've seen from the rules that I was given was it's any championship within the 3WA. Now that does say to me, I'm obviously I'm a small town bird lawyer.
That would
I-
include the
I'm
women's
not a.
championship, is
It
what you're
would
trying to
include the
get
women's
at, Mr.
championship, but if
Cornett.
it includes the women's championship, doesn't that mean that it does open the door to women? And again, I'm a small town bird lawyer. I'm just reading these rules.
Yes.
Oh my
And it
Lord.
suggests to me that if a woman were to win the Revolution Rumble, there's nothing that stops her from challenging for a men's championship. I'm just saying.
Which Mr. Thomas does have at this moment. He has the High Impact Championship.
Which actually I have looked, does not particularly say per se that it is a men's championship. It's simply a tradition
Right.
that we have observed.
Right. I don't know, Sammy.
Yeah,
So
I
I
like
don't know
to
if you're going to
see
be in
Thomas get
Quakertown
embarrassed
next
by a
Saturday,
girl.
are you?
Yes, I definitely will be. So
So there you go.
Excellent.
So she will be in Quakertown on Saturday for the 3WA, and that is their annual Resolution Rumble, the winner of which receives a championship match of their choice.
Yes.
And it's all over the top rope. So, I mean, fans, I know I'd want to see it, Professor. I'd like to see
No,
Sammy in
The
there.
cream of the crop.
actually,
Pennsylvania Independent
so
Wrestling
sorry.
Company.
Correction, I will not be at Free WA.
Oh, you will not be at
No.
3WA. Okay.
What? I will be somewhere else though. So
Well, what do you got? What do you got coming
Yeah,
up?
where are you at? Let's put you over. It's your interview.
I will be down in New Jersey doing like a mixed like tag match action. So
Okay, cool.
yeah,
excellent.
it'll be at Battle on the Border. So
There you go.
I'll be in PA. She'll be in my home state.
I think you have that badass mentality, says Christopher Vint. He loves that you have that bad mentality. I would knee her in her stupid face and then throw her over the top rope if she was there. Well, you don't have to worry about her being there. She just said she's not going to be there, Kyle.
No, and there is precedent that champions can potentially be involved in the matchup. I thought that was only the tag team champions, since a singles title could potentially be on the line. But knowing Kyle Grant, I'm sure that a little thing called the rules will certainly not stop him.
No, absolutely not.
I'll need to get out my Pennsylvania State Athletic Commission rule book to see if there's anything banning this shenanigans.
So, Sammy, how much do you pay attention to WWE or AEW on TV? Do you watch any of that? I mean, you used to do it with your dad, and you got into the Shield and stuff like that back when they were a thing. How about nowadays? Do you still pay any attention to it?
oh, I still pay attention to it, of course, always.
Mhm.
I'm a wrestler, but at the end of the day, we all started as fans. So
Mm-hmm.
And it's research at this point, right?
of course, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I asked that, because it's great and refreshing to hear young wrestlers like yourself who actually watch not as a fan now, but now you're watching as research, like the professor said.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
so you're watching psychology in the ring. You're watching, different things that they do nowadays. What are they looking for? What is AEW looking for? TNA. What is WWE looking for? NXT.
Yes.
Whatever. So I mean, and with the influx of WWE ID, that's a whole nother thing that independent wrestlers have all got their ears up. They're like, "Ooh, man, maybe I got a shot at this for real now." Because Triple H is a forward thinker, and under his control, you could see all these changes, and the door is now open. And this partnership with TNA is a great thing, because again, to me, it's like adding an extra NXT. Now they have like 2 developmental leagues going on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. of
Where they
course.
could pull some talent from one or the other. You can have people jumping from. You can have it helps TNA because, let's face it, they haven't been exactly relevant in the past like 5-10 years. It helps them because WWE stars can show up at their events. They have a
Right.
They have a pay-per-view tonight, I believe. And
Yeah.
same thing. You can have TNA people show up at NXT events. Like it's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah.
And of course, less generously, you're watching stuff now and you're going, "What can I steal?"
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you steal from one person, it's plagiarism. If you steal from a bunch of people, it's research. I try to steal from a bunch of people, so that way it's research.
So how does
I'm sure you can't see it very well, but on my bookshelf back here is all my wrestling books for history and whatever else.
That's why he's the professor, Sammy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I try to steal as much as I can from commentators. and that kind of leads me to my next question. You're watching the modern product. Do you have like a Peacock subscription, or are you on YouTube and kind of going back? I mean, there's stuff on Tubi too. I've been pushing that to people, that there's like Golden Age stuff. You can find Gorgeous George matches on Tubi and go back and look at that stuff, because I really think we've gotten to a place where, I'm an old fart. I look at somebody like Gorgeous George and like, yes, well past my time, but that's a lot further for you than it is for me. And if you were able to start looking at something like that, stealing the psychology, if nothing else,
of course,
and start bringing that in, you've got a whole fan base that isn't even aware of how that stuff works.
Right.
Right.
And that's stuff that inspired Ali, it inspired Bob Dylan, it inspired all of these.
Well, Gorgeous George inspired Ric Flair, inspired superstar Billy Graham.
All over, not just our business, but I mean, I bring up Ali, I bring up Bob Dylan, because like that's pop culture in general.
Yes, it is.
He inspired. So that ability to take something like that maybe people are not aware of because they're not a nerd like I am that'll read the books and whatever else. Now you can bring that in and people aren't aware of it. That is a huge advantage for you or anybody else that wants to seize on that. So I always ask people, are you going back beyond the modern day or the 90s or the 80s? Are you looking at the 70s? Are you looking at the 60s? Or you even look at the 50s if you can?
Yes, of course.
Perfect.
What is Slammin Sammy's favorite match of all time in her mind? Like, because I love asking that question because it varies from generation, right? If I ask Autumn Breeze that question, she's gonna have a totally different answer than you. So, like, what's your favorite match of all in your mind? You're like, man, I love that match. I could watch it tomorrow and still be entertained by that match.
I would say if there's any match that I really do like, I'm gonna say on it and be honest here, is my debut match. I mean, I love the energy I felt in that, being able to do it, and appreciate everybody's support from before to after to during, and that's just one, and that's just, it's my first one, yeah, of course, but it's one that I'll never forget. So
was it a nice sized crowd? I mean, what kind of crowd was it? Were they a hot crowd? What kind of crowd was it?
They were a very hot crowd. Yeah, they were good.
People underestimate how much a crowd can make a difference. Even if you're a commentator.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a commentator. And I mean, to be able to do what I do, and this is not about how over I am or anything like that. Because I always say, I get over if you guys get over. If I'm doing my job, it's not about, oh, we're so happy to see the professor or hear what the professor says. It's I'm happy to hear the professor call that performer's match. I love that performer, and I'm happy to hear his voice with my favorite performer. That's how I get over.
Right.
And to have a crowd that is so into what's going on, it helps me emotionally.
Like last night.
Bring it up. Yes, last night was great. It was a great crowd that was in everything, and then that helped me bring my emotional register up to be able to go, wow, we're not just having a match, we're having this match with this.
Shout out to
great
Seven Valleys.
Things that are going on. Yeah, I put them over on Facebook today.
The reception I got when I came out of that curtain, because I had been gone for a few months, I'll never forget that, and I appreciate everybody who cheered when I came out. This is a great question, I think, Chris. This is the best question of the night, I think. What is your daily training program, or do you train for your next match? Like, so in other words, I don't want you to get into details here, Sammy, because that's your business. But what I want you to say is, as a professional wrestler, how do you get yourself both mentally and physically prepared for that next match?
So, like how I because my my training program is also something I have to juggle along with
Hmm.
normal
Right.
practice for wrestling as well, which I do like 3 days a week. So
Okay.
and my other like stuff that I do for like training to like gain muscle and everything, because obviously wrestling is about looks. Not only that, but it's also about
Mhm.
like longevity.
Mhm.
Having a good
Healthy, staying healthy, right?
Yeah,
staying healthy, having
cardio.
a good high set of cardio, being able to be a good
Mhm.
base for somebody. Just a bunch of things. I train at a gym called House of Steel Fitness Center. I go in there. I have like my own like personal training sessions, and I do like a bunch of classes. I do yoga. I do bar. Any type of classes like that. So I'm usually in there about like about like two to like 3 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
More more if any, and or in case.
Yeah.
And what about training, wrestling training? Have you not stopped learning? Do you continue to learn?
Yes, I continue to learn every day, because that's what I go to practice more.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like we need more people, nowadays doing that more. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Mhm.
Like we need more people, coming to train and learn what they can, finding out, just wanting to improve basically. And yes, it can be like tiring at times, but if you really focus on like loving to grow and learn, then nothing will stop you.
Yeah, if you
Abs-
want this, you're gonna put
Absolutely.
in the work.
Exactly.
Yeah. So from talking to you now for 30 minutes, this is what I'm getting out of you. You're a student of the game. You already have an athletic background with the martial arts. You have a hunger, which it can't be taught. You either have it or you don't.
Right.
And
Mhm.
you have discipline. That's also from the martial arts, but also from your training and all that stuff, and you never stop learning. So you have all these tools to make it in this business. I hope you know that. So just, to me, I have a lot of, high hopes for you from what I'm hearing today.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Um, but if people want to get in touch with you as far as promoters go, how would they do that? And, what's your range? Because I know you wrestle in PA, you wrestle in New Jersey. Like sometimes we have promoters watch it from New York. So I mean, how far are you willing to go? That's what I'm saying.
Like, I'm willing to go like whatever the distance is, because
Hmm.
an opportunity is an opportunity. So, I'm going to take, like what people ask me to do, and make the most out of it. Even if I have to go out of state, I'm willing to do that too.
So
Perfect.
are you booked a lot in the near future besides next weekend? Are you booked like the next few weeks or?
Yes, I am I am booked for more coming up here.
So what do you got coming up? Where can people see you wrestle? That's what I'm getting at.
So so people can see me wrestle at places like Rise Wrestling. That's where the Stronghold Training Center. That's
Okay.
their wrestling company that they're tied in.
And
Tied,
where's that?
tied
And where's that at?
that is in Uniontown. So,
Okay. You okay?
and then legit alternative wrestling, which is down in Parkersburg. So So that's always a very fun place to be in. Extreme but fun. And battle on the border, obviously.
That's this coming Saturday.
Yeah. No, not this Saturday, but
No. Oh, the battle on the border is not this
oh,
Saturday?
oh no, sorry. The battle of the border is this Saturday.
Is this
My bad.
Saturday? Okay. I thought I heard you say that.
Yeah, I have a lot of them, so
Yeah, you gotta keep. It's hard to keep it straight sometimes.
yeah.
If you're busy, you're busy.
And
Yeah,
can they just, if a booker wants to get a hold of you, can they just reach you
Get that
through social,
contact info out there.
through social media, or how can they get a hold of you?
Okay, so my Instagram handle is at Slammin Sammy official, and then on Facebook you can reach me at just by typing in the name Slammin Sammy,
Mm-hmm.
and then on Twitter it's Slammin Sam 8637, and then for TikTok, I mean, I might as well put it out there. I mean, I know it's been going through it's been going through its course right now, but
it is. It's a whirlwind right now, but let's put it out there. You know,
but yeah, it's at
up, it's down, it's there though.
Yeah, right.
Out there we can.
At Slammin Sammy 101 is for that one too. So
perfect. There you go, guys. So if you want to see her, check out her Facebook page, especially check out her upcoming events and go see her wrestle. I hope we get to see you in our neighborhood soon. The professor did get to see you in Quakertown, but if you come back, I'd love to call one of your matches with him right next to him. Yeah. I was on a bit of a hiatus, but got back in the seat next to him yet last night, man, and it was awesome. It was a pleasure, absolute pleasure, Keith, to sit next to you last night. Great crowd, hot crowd, and we love our fans down in Quakertown as well. So we can't wait to get back there. Slammin Sammy.
Nice to get back in the old rhythm.
Absolutely. Slammin Sammy, I got pretty much one more question for you, and that is, you know, where do you want to be in this business, as far as this business goes, in like 5 years or longer?
I would love to absolutely, like the main goal for me is to get signed, you know, anywhere, whether that be WWE, AEW.
To do this for a living.
Yes, to do this for a living for the rest of my life. Okay.
I mean, yeah, I mean that's a fantastic goal, and I think, like I said, you have all the tools. Keep with that training program, make yourself stand out. You know, you know what separates you from the 100 other girls that just walked in the door down at the training center in NXT. That's what you got to find out, right? You know, that's what you got to find out. And once you find that, you know, go for it. And if we can help you along the way, we absolutely will, because we do that. We always keep track of every guest we've ever had. We've had over 300 wrestlers in the past almost 5 years now. So
nice.
You know, we keep track of them, and some of them have gone on to be extras on Raw or SmackDown. Some of them have gone on to be stars in NXT. And so we get excited when we see you win, when we see your wins. And I call them wins. I don't mean wins as in you won a match. I mean wins as in, oh my God, she just got to try out a TNA, or oh my God, she just got to try a dark match on AEW, whatever. We love that. So we're gonna keep track of you. We're excited to keep track of you, and see where this goes for you. And we wish you nothing but the best. Absolutely. Go for it. Do it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Professor, you got any parting gifts for Slammin Sammy?
Yeah, I'm gonna throw out a little bit of a challenge. Based on our interview here tonight. I think what you need to work on, based on what we've talked about tonight, and this is meant respectfully, nicely, to whatever, because we talked about, you need folks that have been in the business for a minute to help you. And I'm big on, I've been in the business for a minute. I'm not an expert, whatever, but just I observe. I think you need to work on promos, and you need to work on being comfortable with Sammy. You're very close, I think. I don't think you're all the way there yet. And I say that as somebody who started out in the business very much not comfortable with himself, very much not confident in himself that what he was doing was going to be accepted and appreciated, right, or that you're going to get past that one show, right? Because you're like, anybody can get that one show. When you get that second show, then you start going, maybe there's something here. Maybe I can do this. You've gotten that second show. You've gotten that third show, that fourth show, that fifth show, however many shows it's been. Now is the time to start feeling that and saying, okay, I can do this. Let's start bringing the personality out. You know what? You have the skills, the personality. That's what's going to get you separated from the pack. Start working on bringing that personality out and bringing that confidence out. It's there. You just got to find it.
Mm-hmm.
Sammy, what's your
favorite? I know
it's
there. I can see it's there.
Sammy, what's your favorite? What's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie. I probably have to say Rocky, no doubt.
A great one. That is a great one to bring out.
So, one of my favorite quotes of all time from that entire series is the one that not too many people know, like not too many people quote, because it's from Rocky Balboa, which is like the 6th movie.
Yeah,
it's the
underrated.
One. It's the one where he has his son outside, and his son is down, and he gives that speech, and I don't know it word for word, but it's that speech he gives where he says it's not about how hard you can get hit, but keep coming back and move forward, because that's how winning is done.
Yeah, my
something like that
has that on a poster in his office,
and it's a great quote. It's a great quote, and I think if you find that inner Rocky inside Slammin Sammy, I swear, we're gonna watch you running up the steps one of these days.
I know it's there. I can tell it's there. That's why I said what I said, and I said it publicly.
Yeah.
Because I know it's there. You have to find it. That's something that nobody, like the hunger for this business, nobody can teach it to you.
Right.
Nobody can teach you that confidence or anything. Nobody could teach to me. Al, very instrumental in giving me the opportunities and pushing me and saying, you can do this. And you need that person. You need that Al. You need that person.
Once in a while, I'm
push you to do it. But ultimately, that's going to come from you. That's going to come from within. And you're going to find that. And you're going to become that person, or you're not. Now, I do believe
he works out to the Rocky soundtracks.
It is.
That was an awesome answer. I work out every day to the Rocky soundtracks.
Yeah.
Nice.
He does, and he's a big dude. Like that. He lives in South Carolina, but he's from my hometown, and he is a jacked individual. Yeah, he's very. I often wonder why he never got into this business. You know what I mean? But anyway,
maybe couldn't put all the pieces together. But
Sammy, don't go anywhere when we go off the air. Okay.
All right.
Because people usually disappear. Professor, obviously you have to know, who is our guest next week on Around the Turnbuckle?
Oh, yeah. I'm very aware. Suicide Myers. Don't ask. What do you mean, stupid movie choice? What's a better movie choice to you, Kai?
You say Kyle,
it's not Gremlins is a holiday movie. Yeah. I'll give you that.
Yeah, speaking of Gremlins, I was supposed to ask her about Gremlins. Have you seen Gremlins?
That's why I prompted you.
Sammy, have you seen Gremlins?
No, I have not.
That is blasphemy. But anyway, watch Gremlins.
Movie.
Classic from the 80s.
The second movie is so 90s.
No.
I love the second movie.
The original. Watch the original.
No, watch the original first, but I'm saying go watch the new batch too.
Look up Gremlins.
Al, we're gonna fight if you're against the new batch.
Kyle, it's not our fault that your favorite movie is Wicked. You got to calm down. All right.
Wow.
Anyway,
I think
that's fine. Anyway, yes, it is Suicide Myers, Unmasked, New Attitude, part of the Prophets of Sin. We're going to get into all that next week, guys. Next week, 7 o'clock again. We're gonna go 7
I
o'clock.
do a mute button. Yes, I do. Okay, perfect. I know where that is. I'll probably need that a lot next week.
Around the Turnbuckle next week, 7 o'clock. Suicide Myers will be here. Our guest this week has been Slammin Sammy. Thank you to everybody who chimed in and commented. I appreciate each and every one of you for asking her some questions. And I'm going to give the last word to Sammy. Sammy, your parting thoughts.
Well, this was a good podcast to get in on. I felt really good talking to both of you, and
Love it.
Anywhere you see me, it will be slamming time. So
yeah, there you go. And hey,
Good
come
luck.
back again. Open invitation.
Good luck. I have faith in you. In the meantime, for the professor and Slammin Sammy, this was Around the Turnbuckle. We'll see you guys next week.
You think you know me?
Oh, yeah! If you smile!
Calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour,